You want to talk about some couple things to improve on? React to what they're doing. The strength of your hero is distance, and you can be aggressive when you need to be, but if you're just going to sit there and not do anything when they make a play on you, it's going to happen every single time. Every single time it's going to happen. Second of all, you had said, can your superior game knowledge and positioning carry you out of bronze? Your positioning at the start of team fights is pretty solid. After that, it gets a bit wild. All right, so in today's video, we are watching a player we've watched before. So if you haven't seen the series we just started doing recently, it's called Where Are They Now? And what we do is we look at VODs from someone we've already spectated 3 months or more and see if they've improved. Today's video, we have somebody who we recorded the video 6 months ago. So this is a 6-month difference in which they're going to be playing DPS. When we initially watched them, they were a support main trying to learn DPS. At the time, they were in Bronze 2. And now they were in Gold 5 and on the exact same map that we watched before. So now we get to see how that difference is. Now, before we get to that part, subscribe to the YouTube. I do that because the new YouTube thing shows the subscribe button. In the initial video, they talked about how, like, their positioning was, you know, was good, but they needed to, like, figure out a bunch of other stuff. 6 months later, here they are in gold, and they say that the advice about the positioning helped them stay alive a lot more and do a lot more consistent damage. And they feel like they weren't getting healed by their supports. So, the video previously from this one, we posted in the comments if you want to check out their improvement. Here we go. Starting on Widow. Said blame the supports already on their way to playing DPS. There you go. They went from Bronze 2 to Gold 5. And the last time we watched one of their videos was 6 months ago. Okay, you're playing your distance. This is good. Not worried about the shots, by the way. Missed shots, I'm not too focused on. Good job. Playing your distance. It's great. Already, something I want to point out that we're seeing, they recognize that Genji's near them, they're backing away. You see this? Like, you're seeing that improvement already where they're starting to back away a little bit. The missed shots happen. Sometimes you have games on Widow where you hit every shot, sometimes you have games on Widow where you miss every shot. They even said they switch off Widow because they weren't feeling it. But you see how they, like, kind of start to back away now, rather than just playing really close and not adjusting to that? Now this Genji has to really dive them to get them, and they won't be able to get to him. That Genji will get rolled, because look where the team's set up at. So it's like a good... It's a good adjustment, and then I say that, and, you know, I don't even know if they knew the Genji was there anymore, so I'm gonna... Okay, so I want to point something out here. Verify they're not there anymore. I'll give you an example of what you can do in that situation. Just grapple up off, like, the statue in front of you, and you'll be able to see the bridge and know if they're still there. When you grapple in like that, you kind of give them a free pick. So be careful of that. So. But you can do that same play without grappling up. And it's a safer play. Okay, what do we talk about here? Distance on the enemies. You're not going to be able to stop the cart. All right, that is the exact opposite of what we were talking about. All right, we're going to pause for a second because I've seen you make improvements in some areas, but right there, you need to think about falling back, not going forward. I know you went for a grapple up there, but just try to go back. You can grapple behind you. You can make all these plays. Focus on that more. I've seen improvement from what we saw, but that's something you can still continue to improve on. I imagine this is where you switch. Yeah, which is fine. Sometimes you just miss shots on Widow. It happens. Okay, your team's down. Wait now. Back away. Back away. I mean, excuse me. You're fine. You're in a good spot. I was going to say back away because I thought you were going to push in. You didn't push in. You're fine. Nice job. Wall off the... Nice. Good job. Good reaction to that. Good job staying with your team. Good job recognizing what's happening in the team fight. All of that was well played right there. Okay? You see how sticking with the core of your team in this situation when you're on Mei. Now, if you're on a different hero, we can talk about that later on. But with Mei, you're sticking with the core, you're recognizing how to play the ability, and you're adapting to the team fight. Good job. Dahmer's pinged. Perfect. Nice job. Remember, you base it off the team fight you're seeing. I'm okay with that. I feel like you can save it there. They weren't really doing anything yet. That makes me think you needed to wall that, but we'll take it. No cleanse. Wall him off again. Perfect. And just to kind of point out here, win or lose in this team fight, what you're seeing, their initial issue was they had trouble adapting to what was happening in the team fights. Do you see how, like, their reaction now is a little bit more like, okay, I'm gonna back up. I'm gonna work with my team. I understand, like, what's going on. This is good. Recognizing you're not gonna survive that, dying on the cart. These are improvements that can help you climb, even if they're like little things and things that you don't think will help you. They can help in a huge way because, like, that can be make or break of that 10% all charge, that extra pick that wins you a team fight that you normally wouldn't win if you played incorrectly, right? So. Remember, they can EMP your Mei ult here, so you have to... I have a feeling you're not going to play around that. Well, now you don't have to worry about it. This is a good ult by them. You're fine. Don't ult this. Do not ult this. Do not ult this. Do not... Perfect. Good job. Okay, what do we have here now? You have a free Mei ult. Outside of the Sombra's waiting to hack you mid-cast. You have a free ult. You don't have to use it here though. You can just right click him in the... So something I want to pause here, and this is more just a me thing. Follow up on your Zarya grabs. Like straight up, just follow up on your grabs. And the reason why I say that is because, like, I see that happen all the time where people will not follow up on their grabs, on my grabs, because they think that people are going to die in the grab. Grab doesn't do what it used to. You get people in there, it's like you heal the team. Help with that if you don't mind. I think you would have had a free elim at least on the Sombra. So at that point, just recognize that. That's about recognizing the situation that we've talked about before. People do it all the time. I'll grab 5. Well, like 3, or sorry, I'll grab like 3 people, and people will go for the other targets, and then everybody survives. Your target focus. Play close now.
Everyone heal up.
Okay, we're watching. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. The raid. Thank you. Nice. I'm standing hot. Positioning's okay. You can play a little bit closer if you want, but how do I explain this? Look what your Zarya is. You'll help your Zarya by playing closer because you then become you and your Zarya become like a unit at that point, right? When you play back, this gives them more opportunity to make a play on your Zarya. And your follow up on your wall. This is better positioning, by the way. This is a good job. This is also adjusting to what's happening in the game. That's a good example of what you're doing. Careful of your Mei ult. They do have their EMP. You're good after that to use it. EMP's a lot better now, so if you find yourself getting wiped by EMP more now, that's because it got buffed, and honestly, it probably needed to, so good job. Same concept here. Keep holding close, adjusting what they're doing, much better. And this is where I think we've really seen the improvement from you, and why you've climbed so much in that amount of time is just like you're just kind of adjusting to what's happening a lot quicker. You did see the Sombra. You know they're there. Okay, it's fine. Don't get too distracted by the Sombra, because you might leave your Zarya out to dry there. You might be able to just roll them, but... this is one of those unique spots where, like, they're going to win that, but they used a lot of ults too, so, like, those are one of those moments where you go, you know what? At least we traded ultimates, right? You said, how about that I have them improve their aim? That's it. Just tell them to improve their aim, they're good to go. A lot of the things we talk about, yeah, of course, like, working on your mechanics is always going to be something, but what I always say to this is this. Your aim, your mechanics come with time and practice. The way that you play the game, your positioning, how you use your abilities, all that stuff is the stuff that's going to make you even better. You can get to a certain point with your mechanics, but then after a certain point, if your whole playstyle is sprinting in a straight line, you're going to get rolled. So the idea is that you need to improve other stuff rather than just, like, get better aim and you'll be fine. Like, that's not... Like, as you climb, your decision-making will become a lot more important than it could be, like, in, let's say, bronze. Even though you want to... But you start those good habits early in ranked, so that way, as you climb, your mechanics and your aim are getting better, your movement, etc. But so is your in-game decision-making. So as you do that, it's like starting that early in bronze is going to benefit you in top 500, rather than getting to a certain rank because you purely relied on your mechanics, and then you have to learn all of those, like, new habits and new things to do way later than you could have. You know what I'm saying? I hope that makes sense. But anyway, back to the match. Don't be afraid to wall this soon. I don't think you realize we... Okay. I thought you walled off your Zarya. Apparently your Zarya survived that. But your Zarya had to, like, maneuver around that. And now they're in a unique spot. Back away a little bit here. Be careful. Yeah, this is going to be a tough one. Your team's out of position. This is like a team effort. You all kind of heck this one up. You can wall that. You can wall that. Nice wall. I don't see you winning this. I mean, yeah, you're not winning that. That's you just too many things happening. They ult stacked you. Unlucky. Back to Widow. Let's see how you do. Nice job playing distance here. Good job. Well played. Not trying to grapple in. We talked about that. Good job playing distance. And people go, oh, as Widow, that's obvious. Yeah, but like a lot of Widows will play really aggro, and you're having no fun. All right, back to spawn. Can't play distance on a Sombra. I mean, you can, but you're not gonna know. All right, so let me just... First of all, nice shot there on the Moira. You said, even if they play right, this person can't aim. They are useless until then. Dude, are we watching the same game? Their aim has been fine. Are you sure you're watching the same game we're watching? I'm sorry, but like, we're watching a gold game right now. What are your expectations of the aim here? I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm in an argument right now with user 632981 in TikTok right now. You said they missed 60 to 70% of their shots. So you went through and counted every single shot they missed. You might probably honestly could be right on that one. At 40% accuracy, actually 30 to 40% accuracy would be pretty good in Overwatch. I mean, I'm just confused. Like I'm trying to figure out what your expectations are of this. You said, listen, all you're saying is they need aim training first. We can. I'll meet you halfway, and that aim is important, but you don't need to just go and do aim training to, like, improve in Overwatch. There's so many variables in this game that, like, having them go and just, like, shoot at bots for, like, 50 hours will certainly improve aim, but, like, they're also improving their other, like, parts of their play. That's a big part of Overwatch. I'm just saying. You said there was a 6-month time lapse and 0 improvement of their aim. Their aim is absolutely improved in 6 months. Unless you've already gone through and went through both videos side by side, then that's fair. But, like, I mean, listen, if you're doing that, I'm already impressed you, man. Just can't do that. All right, let's go. Nice job.
I completely woke up.
Okay, good start. Good job playing distance here.
Payload exploded.
Nice. What do you mean? We're chilling. I don't mind having discussions about that in general. Like, I don't really, like, it doesn't really, I guess bother me as much with that. It's more of, like, explaining as to why I find that, like understanding good map control, position, and all of that part of Overwatch is a really big step to being able to improve in the game. Because, like, when you start to play the game in, like, this way that is... And we'll just go back. No, don't get me wrong. Like, for example, just to go to the aiming part, yeah, you want to hit that shot on the end.
Emongg blank is emongg blank is emongg blank is emongg blank.
So that can be helpful, but I look at that and go, they put themselves in a good spot. I like the spot they put themselves into, and I like to see that type of progression. And that's what they did.
No one can hide from my sight.
We're in your backline. Nice shot. But the Moira hit a better shot. Unlucky. Said their supports weren't healing them? This hasn't been a support issue. Nope. I think that's what they're referencing to, but like sometimes the Moira just goes into your backline and there's so many things happening that you can't do anything about it.
Don't move.
Alright, they're behind with Moira again. There's the ping. Now, if you grapple to this Moira, I don't expect your supports to heal you. There you go. Now, this is where it becomes an issue. Yeah, that's not on your supports. You're getting rolled. what I do like so far, and just to kind of go back to the improvement of this, because this really was a part of it, I like the way that you're positioned much better than you used to, which is going to go in your favor most, which I really like. So.
Emongg comfy.
Playing distance, you're not like in middle of team fights, like just going all over the place. You're doing a good job with that.
Bob, do something.
Careful the Bob. Nice. This is fine positioning. So, I hate to break it to you, by the way, because I'm seeing what's happening right now. How do I explain it? There's a certain point where if this keeps working, you just need to switch off Widow. Straight up. You're at the point now where, like, you just need to switch off Widow. And the reason being is because if your teammates aren't able to react to what's happening, it's because there's multiple other things happening. And you kind of alluded to the idea that your teammates aren't healing you. But, like, there's only so much the team can do to protect you from the Moira that's doing that. And what will end up happening is if you focus so hard on this Moira, your team will do literally nothing. That's how I see that. Basically, don't get mad at your supports if you keep going here and having the same thing. Nice shot. That was a really good play. Good job. Ooh, there we go. Maybe not. Never mind. Don't switch off Widow. Except if you die to Moira again. Then switch off Widow. Good shot. Nice job. Ha! There you go. Nice. Pop walls. Walls will help you now. Actually, no. Don't pop walls.
No one.
Don't pop walls. Yeah. Reason why I don't want you to pop walls there is because they've been diving you over and over again, and once it became like a 4v3 or like a 4v2, whatever it became there, 3v4 that is, sorry, because the other team had more, it's more likely they're going to be able to follow up on you there. So, like, you don't need walls to see how close they are there. I think you're going to be fine. Now, your team still might win that, but keep in mind, as Widow, once they get the eliminate you, your walls go down anyway, so you're not even going to be able to benefit from that. This is a perfect opportunity for your team. Nice job. This is interesting. I feel like your team should have lost this team fight twice, and now I think your teammate should have won this team fight twice. He just ended up resetting. Here we go. Okay, so you mentioned not getting healed by your supports, and I'm going to talk about this very quickly. You're right here. You're standing right here. I want you to look at where your supports are. This is not your supports ignoring you. Look where they're at. They cannot heal you. You're not going to get healed. So at a certain point, if you're just standing there, this is what's going to happen. So, like, go to the side here. Wait a second. Like, this is the next step that you can work on, right? Because you've gotten better at playing distance, right? You've been hitting some shots on people at range. You're understanding where you want to play. The next step here is, like, don't hard focus on, oh, my supports aren't healing me. There's usually a reason why, right? And that's because more than likely they're going to be in the backline DPS. Or you're just out of LOS and you're constantly LOSing. So you need to, like, start to focus on other things. Yeah, you have a health pack back here. You can go over here to survive for a second. You can get better vision. You can go here to wait. Like, start to think about that in a team fight now. Because I'm watching you probably get upset that you're not getting healed. But, like, sometimes they just can't heal you. They're not running Kiriko. They can't just TP to you, right?
There is no time.
Like, the way your team plays is you're going to have to be in spots where they can heal you. And if you're not, you're going to get rolled by a Sombra and a Moira every time. What does LOS stand for? Line of sight. Nice job.
Do not surrender to my will.
Nice sleep. Jack, can we take a second here? I'm just so happy to see that right there. Does Chad even know why I'm happy to see what we just saw right there? Don't think about the ult right there, okay? I want to show you something. So one of the issues this player had initially, right?
30 months
was that
kind of hour long.
You see, the waking up part isn't even the problem. One of the issues in the initial video that we did with them was that they didn't have the proper distance on DPS, so they would play close, and they didn't pay attention to what was happening mid-team fight. So, what I love about this, and this is just like a small thing here, there's a Mauga right here, right? Automatically, you're like, oh, what if I just go right here or grapple into the Mauga, right? Widow ain't gonna have a good time against a Mauga if they do that. Now, you're probably gonna win the team fight, but watch the reaction now. Watch the reaction. Rather than just go right into the Mauga, even with a numbers advantage, does this. Ready? Goes this way. now is in a good position, playing distance on DPS, playing in an advantageous angle, and doesn't give a free pick to somebody. That is the improvement I love to see. Absolutely love to see that. Because if they went there, they would be right in front of them. Look what's happened. See this? Look at that. See? Love to see it. And there's the Moira.
No one can hide.
Two things you did wrong there. You LOS your supports in an overtime fight where they have to stay towards cart, and then you popped walls. Both of those were not good plays. Stop LOSing your supports. You keep doing the same thing. That goes back to recognizing the situation. Just grapple to the cart. You can't. You're LOSing your support at that point. You actually made it so there was two ways to not get healed. And yes, just to point out to you again, when they get the elim on you, you lose the walls. Like your teammates will not benefit from the walls anymore. So you want to save that for a moment like now, which would be way more advantageous for your team because you can know where a hero like Sombra is. Yes, when Widow dies, the wall ends. Now, at the beginning of Overwatch, it didn't used to work that way. It used to be the walls would stay up. Now. And I think it was like a little bit like, I want to say probably a year before, was it a year before Overwatch 2 launched maybe? Or was it even Overwatch 2? They changed it so, maybe even longer than that. They changed it when Widow dies, the walls go away. You said you purposely LOS your heals? I can't wait to get your VOD submitted where you sit there and blame your supports. It's going to be great. Did a hot take, you take the high ground on this part of the map for the win? That's fine. Some good angles. I don't even think this part of the map is this part of the map feels it's better for defense Widow than attack Widow. But it can work still. You know, you didn't win the game, but I will say, and Shaq can agree or disagree, I think there was clear improvement right here. I think you understood more how to play the game, playing distance, not engaging early. I think your next step now is I want you to, you're doing a good job of recognizing what's happening, like in a team fight, but now you need to recognize why something isn't happening, why you're not getting healed. Number one thing usually, if you're not getting healed, outside of your DPS, I mean your support DPS or your tank taking a lot of damage and needs those heals, is usually you're constantly out of LOS. So your next step is part 2 of good positioning, which is where are my teammates set up and where can I be in LOS? And that's part 2 of that, right? Because you can have good positioning, but it may not align with your teammates' positioning, which can result in what's happened. So that's the next improvement step you can make because, in my opinion, you need to make a quicker adjustment to a Moira diving you on the back line like 16 fights in a row. You get what I'm saying? All right? So, good improvement. It's really fun seeing this because this was a 6 months difference and I can definitely see that. So, all right. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. Subscribe to all 3 YouTube channels if you haven't. A lot of awesome videos on there, everyday uploads. If you want to submit your own spectating, make sure to look in the description below. You'll see my Discord. That is where you can submit your own spectating. Let me know what you think about this series. I'm having fun with it. The Where Are They At Now series has been awesome. I hope you've been enjoying it too. And we record these live on stream. If you look below, you can see my Twitch chat right there. So make sure to stop by if you haven't. We have a lot of fun here. And with that being said, I hope you all have an amazing day/night.